Hey everybody, it has been a while, I realize. Oh, fuck. Hey everybody, KMO here, and I realize it has been a very long time since I put out a free video. It's been a pretty long time since I put out a video just for the Patreon folk. And here's what's up. I joined Filipino Cupid almost a month ago, and I have been chatting with a whole bunch of different Filipinas, and now I'm just chatting with one. Or, I don't want to say one and a half, because the other person's not a half person, but I have no interest in her, as a potential relationship. The person I am interested in, I am talking to multiple hours a day on WhatsApp. We have a call when I get up and a call when she gets up, and there's a 12-hour difference between here and there. So my 9 a.m. is her 9 p.m. and vice versa. And we talk multiple hours a day on the phone or on WhatsApp, which it's like the phone. And sometimes we drift into the stuff that I talk about in these videos, and then I notice that suddenly I'm just on. I'm just on target, on script, on track. It's as if I'm doing a video, and then I realize, I don't want to talk about this stuff. This is not fun for me. I'm much more interested in talking about very personal stuff, relationship stuff. It's actually been fairly therapeutic because not only the person who is the last Filipina standing. Not only has she been asking me a lot about, my marriage and what went wrong and, the relationship after that. Lots of other Filipinas, they dig into the same areas as well. They are interested in a potential husband, and you were a husband before and it didn't work. Why? Why didn't it work? They all want to know. So I have to revisit that. And I have been diligent about being truthful, even when the truth is not something I would willingly visit, normally. So I didn't do this with therapy in mind. I did it, with meeting people and just getting a taste of, what awaits me in the Philippines. I realized, and I'm going to do a scripted video on this with lots of slides and, examples and possibly even some commentary from some Filipinas. This isn't that video. This is me just checking in with you to say, I have been talking about stuff that is not suitable for these videos, but it's really been good for me. And I'll do a video about this on the TRT channel, but I've been on the testosterone replacement therapy for going on 3 months, and I'm really feeling it now. I'm really feeling it. I qualified for Medicaid, and I went and I saw a nurse practitioner, and pretty much everybody who comes in on Medicaid is stressed out. This is a very stressful time. So she's mostly drilling down on, she took my blood pressure and listened to my lungs and heart, but mostly she's drilling down on psychological stuff and trying to determine my level of anxiety and whatnot. And I get it. I get why a nurse practitioner is really going to focus in on drugs and alcohol as well. And she wants me to talk to a counselor who specializes in alcohol. Now, I'm not drinking any alcohol right now because I'm trying to lose weight. But I have been, I gained a lot of this weight drinking beer daily during the early part of the pandemic. And so, anyway, a bunch of stuff seems to be going right. And I noticed that I joined Filipino Cupid. I've known about Filipino Cupid. I've known about the site for years. And I've known that I have an interest in Filipinas and the Philippines for years, and I just never did anything about it. And then as the TRT started to kick in, not only am I feeling better, physically and emotionally, but I'm also starting to take action on stuff that previously I had considered and decided not to. So, what does that have to do with any of the things that you tune into these videos to listen to me talk about? Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing at all. This is just an explanation as to why I'm not sitting in front of a camera jabbering about politics or tribalism or, belief systems which are, I hate the word, but I'll say it, toxic. Maladaptive is my preferred adjective. Talking about how our ideas can rule us rather than vice versa. these are the things you tune in to listen to me talk about, and these are things I've just not been thinking about. As I say, whenever I get onto one of those familiar tracks, I notice it and I stop, and I'm the happier for it. But, I'm a creative individual, and I make my living creating content for folks like you, so I got to get back to those issues, but hopefully from a more positive perspective. That's my ambition. Still not feeling any better about Joe Biden. Couldn't imagine voting for him, but at the same time, I can't imagine voting for Trump at this point either, because it would seem to be a validation of whatever campaign message he and his people settle on, and they seem to have no interest in repeating the economic populism of 2016. I would endorse that. I will not endorse his coronavirus response. I will not endorse his socialism sucks or Joe Biden is a crypto Bernie bro. The hell he is. Joe Biden is a Republican. He is a Republican, except he's got a D next to his name. He is a neoliberal centrist stooge for, the finance industry. He is an unrepentant drug warrior and, just enthusiast for mass incarceration. I could never endorse that. But at the same time, I don't want 4 more years of Trump. It's just, at this point, the only alternative is Biden, and Biden is worse. So do I vote for Trump? Do I not? Doesn't matter, because I live in Vermont. It doesn't matter. But at this point, I'm thinking I'm just going to skip it. I'll show up to vote for the local people, but I'll leave the top line blank. Or, put in Andrew Yang. Even though he's not running. That's kind of been a litmus test for me in the past. I've never written in a presidential candidate. I've always selected somebody who was actually running, and it's usually been the Libertarian Party candidate. In fact, I think Walter Mondale was the only time I voted for a Democrat for president. And that's also largely, I would have voted for Clinton in either election, but I was out of the country the first time, and I had just moved to a new state the second time he ran, so I didn't get a chance to vote for him. Which you might say is a problem with our electoral system. That in a society where we are encouraged to take risks, and part of taking risks means abandoning everything that is familiar to you, moving to an unfamiliar place and starting over with nothing, at least you should be able to vote when you get there. Don't move anywhere near election time. If you really want to vote. Anyway, in 2016, I moved from New York to Vermont after the Vermont primary, but before the New York primary. What do you do? By the time the general election comes around, it's 2 losers on the ballot. It's 2 screw you candidates on the ballot. There's not much point in showing up to vote for that. The primary is what counts. The primary is over. Working people lost. The people lost. The elites won. They got the nothing will fundamentally change candidate, and including doubling down on NAFTA, doubling down on the war in Iraq, doubling down on mass incarceration, the 94 crime bill. Joe Biden is not only, nothing will fundamentally change, but everything we've been doing for the last 30 years, which has immiserated workers and enriched the billionaire class, many times over, he's all for it. He stands by it. He does not, as far as I can tell, he can't even conceive of the notion that maybe he was feeding a monster that is destroying the country throughout his whole career. He can't even conceptualize it. So, of course, he's not going to cop to it. Okay, there you go. Political stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Ask me a question. I did a live stream today. I've been doing the live stream Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. I skipped Thursday because I went to the doctor on Thursday at 10 o'clock. But otherwise, I've been doing it every day. For the first time today, somebody who watches these videos and who knows me from someplace other than the, Picarto live stream showed up in the chat. So yay. I would like to encourage more people to do that. And I will make an effort to look at the chat and answer your questions. You'll type at me and I will speak to you. That's the plan. While I draw, multitasking, getting stuff done. Maybe that's the testosterone talking. I don't know. Anyway. That is all. That is all for now. Ask me questions. Give me something to talk about. I will answer, and there will be more videos. Talk to you soon.